And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live almost every day. Wow, we got to change up the intro. Man, oh man. We are live. We are live right now. What's the schedule? Come at us in a week, folks. But usually live every single day at noon Eastern. Today's a little different. Next week's a little different. But Takes by Fans, we try to go live every single day. I was not really expecting, I kind of ran into that one, and I was not expecting that one. Regardless, welcome back to Takes by Fans, folks. We do have a show today. Now, YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We're on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. All right, today is a big old Saturday, folks. We have the last day in the NFL draft wrapping up about right now. I think just tipped off, noon Eastern today. Rounds 4 through 7 finishing up today in the NFL draft. Now, these are where you can find some nice value picks. You don't really know what we're going to get through 4 through 7 and all that. So we're not going to spend too much time on the overall 4 through 7 rounds, but today on the show we will kind of re-go through rounds 1 and 2 on the teams. We'll see how many teams we get through today. Just talking about it because there are some real interesting kind of storylines here. What the Packers did with Aaron Rodgers on day 1, made up for a little bit on day 2. We'll talk about that. The Panthers went out and got our guy, folks, Matt Corral, the best quarterback in this year's draft class. Finally, Matt Rule doing something good. We have the Titans pushing Ryan Tannehill now. They drafted a quarterback, so we'll break down some of what has been going on through the first 3 rounds, first 2 days of the NFL draft and seeing who's making the splash and who's kind of sinking bad. So we'll talk about some draft news today on the show. We'll briefly touch on basketball as well. There was only one game on last night, so not too much going on there. And I know, folks, I told y'all, relish in those days of the golden period of NBA playoff basketball. The initial first week and a half, it's great basketball, multiple games on every single day. Those 4-game day weekends. Well, they're no more, folks, because we have 0, none, zilch, goose egg NBA games on today. What the heck is that? Nobody could force a game 7, so that had to be played today? Really? The Nets couldn't have gone 7 games to make it interesting, so we got to watch that today? No. Of course, the Nets couldn't do that. So, no NBA on today, but, folks, tomorrow, best series in the playoffs this year will be underway. Bucks at Celtics game 1, and we changed our official NBA championship prediction a few days ago on the show. We are officially rocking with the Celtics. We had the Celtics beating the Bucks in this series, and then the Celtics going on and winning the entire chip after that. So we're rocking with the Celtics, and I can't wait to talk about that game tomorrow, but we'll save it a little bit for tomorrow. Alrighty, so let's kick off the show here. Let's start in the NBA since we can get that out of the way quickly, and then we will transition to NFL news and draft talk. So here we go. There was only one game on last night. The only round 1 series remaining wrapped up last night. Grizzlies at the Timberwolves, game 6, closeout game for Grizzlies, and they did just that, folks. Closed out last night, winning 114-106. Now, this game was close. Timberwolves were having leads. Timberwolves were able to, really kind of the Grizzlies were able to overcome all the Timberwolves runs in the first half. Then the second half, the Timberwolves got the lead, but they ended up blowing a 10-point lead in this game, folks. The Timberwolves did at home. Not great. Timberwolves, they got that nice young core. They got that big 3, but I think it's the coaching that needs to change. We've seen this Grizzlies coach. He's top 3 finalist, beating out Ime Udoka as a head coach, coach of the year finalist. So this Grizzlies head coach, and I believe we looked up his name. Is it Zach Taylor? Am I tripping? ZAC? Zach Taylor? Is this man it? Or no, I did the football coach, Zach Taylor. What do we got on the Grizzlies head coach? I know we looked up his name once because I wanted to respect him, and then I forgot it. So I guess that is disrespectful, and I apologize to this head coach. Name Taylor Jenkins. It's close, Zach Taylor, Taylor Jenkins. Pretty close there. But Taylor Jenkins, folks, I mean, what an absolute coaching year. I mean, we saw him without Ja Morant. The Grizzlies were still great and down in this game on the road, able to make those rotation fixes, those coaching adjustments to outplay the Timberwolves down the stretch here in the fourth quarter for them to win and close out the series. So we do have to give a lot of credit to Taylor Jenkins, the head coach for the Grizzlies, of performing very well as a coach. And coaching does matter, folks. We do have to truly understand that coaching is really everything. Look at the Dolphins, folks. This is like the clearest example that truly points out coaching matters. Tua is all smiles. The man is gushing every time you look at him. If you just look at Tua, like glance over at him, the man is smiling because he can't help it, because he knows he has the entire support of the entire Dolphins team, because Mike McDaniels, offensive-minded coach, loves Tua. Loves him. Where Brian Flores didn't really like him, and we saw how the seasons played out with him. Not anything great, nothing special, holding Tua back. The entire national media does not believe in Tua because of that defensive-minded coaching. Coaching matters, folks. And I don't know if the Timberwolves have a great head coach that can get the best out of these young players that still need development, that still need a little bit more coaching to get refined. So this big three can turn into like a super big three, a legitimate championship contending big three, and not just kind of a playoff contending big three. So the Timberwolves, this was a great year. This is nothing to be down about. I know Timberwolves fans, this was an exciting series. This was an exciting time. You know, you stole a game on the road. You came out good. You won and all that. But unfortunately, you won 2 games in the series, but unfortunately, you just don't have that extra oomph to get you over that hump. And I think it's the coach that is not making them get over that hump. So Timberwolves, I know you're out of the playoffs, the season's over and all that, but this is a real exciting time for Timberwolves fans, for this organization, and for this young big three. So even though the Timberwolves lost, let's start with them first. Yes, here we go. Let's give some respect to this big three and send them off to their offseason on a very, very high note. So the big three of the Timberwolves last night: Anthony Edwards, 30 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, shot 4 of 10 from the three, and kept it close. And man, oh man, some great, just some great absolute play once again by this Timberwolves big three. Once again, you can't get too down on this team. It's truly unfortunate they lost last night. I wasn't really rooting for any one specific team in this series because both of these teams are great stories. I would have loved to see the Grizzlies and the Timberwolves get to the next round. So once again, it is truly unfortunate that this Timberwolves team is going on vacation for the rest of the offseason, or for the rest of the playoffs into the offseason. But it's such a great year. This is a great winning year. And I know first round exit, but this is still a winning year, folks. Oof, I love the Timberwolves. But here we go. Anthony Edwards, really great game last night. Karl-Anthony Towns, 18 points, 10 rebounds. Wasn't the most efficient, 31% on 19 shots. And that's really where the Timberwolves fell off last night. Nobody could be that kind of true clutch factor that they truly needed. And once again, that's a little bit of coaching, a little bit of a young big three, not having that kind of, hey, we need a kind of, urgency and must-win attitude. Still needs to develop a little bit more. We saw Karl-Anthony Towns early in the series not be aggressive. That definitely changed after that one game. What was it, game 2, where Karl-Anthony Towns took like 4 shots or something like that? But, that one game, it does hurt you in the end. This is a 7-game series where you really can't even have one mistake. One mistake can, derail the entire process. So just a young, maybe potentially inexperienced Timberwolves team that got experience here this year. Get a new coach, and we're going to talk about a coach in a second. Unfortunately, maybe the Timberwolves won't get him, but hey, at least teams are thinking about, hey, we can find coaches in different areas, but we'll hold off on that in a second. So Karl-Anthony Towns, 31% on 19 shots, definitely could have been a lot more efficient, but overall still solid work. I don't want to knock the Timberwolves really at all here. And then D'Angelo Russell, only 7 points last night, 4 assists, 3 steals. He wasn't aggressive, anything like that. He was pretty solid defensively, but once again, we need D'Angelo Russell. He is part of that big three. We need the entire Timberwolves big three to put on a performance if they want a chance to win these games. So once again, D'Angelo Russell needs to step it up a little bit more out here. We had Patrick Beverley, 10 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, solid work. And then off the bench, Jaden McDaniels, holy moly, big time threes, keeping this Timberwolves team in the game, helping them grow their lead. Like I said, I think their largest lead was 10 last night. Timberwolves 13. Wow, even higher. Geez. So yeah, Jaden McDaniels a huge reason for that. 5 of 6 from the three, 24 points and 4 rebounds coming off the bench. And also, let's shout out to Jordan McLaughlin, 9 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds coming off the bench as well. Some solid work for their bench. So just unfortunate. It came up a little bit short, and the Grizzlies turned on the clutch gene exactly when they needed to late in the fourth quarter to win this game. So now the Grizzlies last night, we had Ja Morant, only 17 points, and this man has not been playing good this series. Do not let that fool you. Another reason why Taylor Jenkins did remember the name right this time. This is why Taylor Jenkins needs a lot more appreciation here, because Ja Morant has not been good in this series at all. I don't know. Ja Morant may have one good game in this playoff series, but let me get up his overall stats here on this playoff series, because it is not good, folks. This was not Ja Morant winning these games single-handedly or anything like that. Ja Morant, this first playoff series, folks, are y'all ready? Game 1, he had 32 points, 8 assists. That's pretty solid, but they still lost that game. Minus 16 on the floor. Not great. Game number 2, 23 points, 10 assists. We'll give him the assisting numbers. Game 3, 16 points, 10 assists. Once again, we will give this man the assisting numbers, but 16 points game 3, 11 points game 4, 30 points, 9 assists in game 4 in a 2-point win, and then last night, 17 points, 11 assists. So some solid games. He did have 2 30-point plus games. I did not realize that. I did not think that was the case. So I will take it a little bit back here on Ja Morant. Yeah, but that 32-point game 1 still resulted in a loss. So I guess he did have one good game with that 30-point that resulted in the win. But we'll digress on that a little bit. So Ja Morant didn't play as well as maybe we all anticipated Ja Morant to play in this playoff series number 1, and especially last night. 17 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds, but 0 of 5 from the 3. Shot 28% on 14 shots. Ja Morant, I mean, I don't know if this level of inefficiency, I guess that's how we should probably classify it, inefficiency. Shooting 28% last night. He shot 30% game 4, 27% game 3, 40% in game 5, which was a good game on 30 points. Shot 44% in game 1 on 32 points. So once again, that's really not that great efficiency. So I guess that's how we should phrase it. Ja Morant has not been efficient at all this season, or this playoff series, folks. But let's get into who was efficient. Desmond Bane, 23 points on 5 of 9 from the 3, shot 60%. Dylan Brooks, 23 points, shot 5 of 6 from the 3. Jaren Jackson Jr., 18 points on 3 of 6 from the 3. And that's really the reason why they won this game. The big time 3-pointers in the second half to help them overcome their deficit. That 13-point deficit, the 3-ball, folks. You got to have the 3-ball, and that's where the Timberwolves just maybe come up a little bit short. They shot 12 of 31 last night, the T-Wolves did, 38% from the 3, while the Grizzlies shot 15 of 33, shot 45%. 3 more threes made. That's 9 points and an 8-point loss. That's the game. That's the game right there, folks. The 3 ball. Still got to hit the 3, and that's where the Grizzlies, that's when they get off to those slow starts, and when the threes don't fall. And we've seen this Grizzlies team get off to slow starts here a lot in this playoff series. So if the Grizzlies can continue to kind of hit those stretches of 3-point barrages in these games next round in the playoffs, they may be able to contend here, but it's going to be tough, folks. The Grizzlies going to be matched up with the Warriors next. The Warriors next, who are very, very good at shooting the 3, while the Grizzlies are pretty a little bit above average. So we got great 3-point shooting versus above average 3-point shooting, with Ja Morant being inefficient. Is that going to be enough to beat and upset the Warriors in a 7-game series, where the Warriors, with the best home court advantage in the league, at home for 4 games? Ja Morant and the Grizzlies and Zach Taylor, or Taylor Jenkins, you better get it together, because it's going to be a tough round 2 here. So, the 3-point shooting by the Grizzlies with Desmond Bane, Dillon Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr. truly helps out. And we can't forget Tyus Jones off the bench, because he had one of the biggest threes last night to truly win this game. 10 points, 4 assists off the bench on 2 of 6 from the 3. So, it all came together for the Grizzlies late in the second half last night, and they win the first series 114-106 over the Timberwolves last night. So, gotta hit the threes, Timberwolves, and that's Karl-Anthony Towns. He won the 3-point shooting contest, and in this must-win Game 6 at home, Karl-Anthony Towns shoots 0 of 3 from the 3. You lose by 8. You lost by 3 3-pointers. That's the game. That's the game. We need this Timberwolves team to be a little bit more clutch consistently. So Grizzlies get the win last night, 114-106. All right, and then before we move off of NBA for today here, this is what I love to see. The Lakers have requested permission to interview Milwaukee Bucks assistant coach Darvin Ham for their head coaching position. And why do we love this so much, folks? Because we need to find new coaches in the NBA. Stop it with the Doc Rivers. Ty Lue is very, very good. He's already kind of wrapped up with the Clippers. I don't know if he goes anywhere this season, because, you still got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. If one or both of those players move, then maybe Ty Lue moves off the Clippers, but Ty Lue's a head coach. That's fine. Eric Spoelstra is a very, very good head coach. Nick Nurse is a good head coach. I don't understand why I want to call that man Zach Taylor the entire time. Taylor Jenkins is a good head coach. We could find good coaches. Nick Nurse, who knew what that man was, right? Taylor Jenkins, oh my goodness, winning without Ja Morant. How can you do that? And the cherry on top of all the great coaches, Ime Udoka. And where did Ime Udoka start? As an assistant head coach with the Nets, gets his own job, and wow, best team in the NBA. Now Darvin Ham, an assistant head coach with this Bucks team that won the ring last year. Little bit of championship experience. Yeah, let's start going with Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham should be kind of coaching candidate number 1. Everybody should be gushing over Darvin Ham as their team's next head coach. Get Darvin Ham a head coaching job. If he goes with the Lakers, I would like that. I wouldn't love it, because you have the LeBron James dynamic, where LeBron James is going to be kind of a coach and a little bit of a GM wherever he goes, because he's a little bit earned that right. So I don't really want LeBron James influencing Darvin Ham. So I don't love Darvin Ham being the head coach for the Lakers, but him just being a head coach, I'm absolutely all for it. So let's get Darvin Ham, and maybe don't take these requests, because I don't love assistant coaches while in the playoffs taking interviews, distracting them. I don't love that. I don't love that in the NFL either here. So Darvin Ham, maybe wait a little bit. I understand you're excited and you do want to kind of, and this is only asking for permission right now, but, he may accept. But overall, maybe Darvin Ham, wait till after the season. You got a big-time matchup against the Celtics. You really can't be dividing your time between interviewing and trying to take down the Celtics. It's just not going to work out in your favor doing that. So love that Darvin Ham is drawing interest here. Go out and get it done. He just won a ring, helped the Bucks win a ring last year, folks. Been with the Bucks for the last 4 years here. Always an assistant coach. Here it is. Always an assistant coach here with the Bucks the last 4 years. He was with Atlanta from 2013 to 2018 as an assistant coach. He started in the league as an assistant coach with the Lakers in 2011 and through 2013. So he's been around the block a little bit as an assistant head coach. Now it's time to truly show what this man has learned on championship teams, winning teams. Go out and get it done. Darvin Ham, wherever you end up. Love seeing this. Let's get new coaches at that head coaching spot. Let's stop recycling non-good coaches. Scott Brooks, no disrespect to you, but you're ruining that Wizards team a little bit. That is still a good winnable team, but Scott Brooks is not a winning head coach. He's a okay head coach, but he doesn't get it done. He didn't get it done with Russell Westbrook on that Thunder team. Not going to get it done here. It's just not going to work out. So let's stop recycling these not good coaches, yes? Let's get Darvin Ham in there and see what this man can do. So, love seeing that. Alrighty, and then unfortunately there is no betting today in the NBA, folks. All round one playoff matchups have concluded, and round two start tomorrow. No NBA playoff games today, so we do have to take a little bit of a betting break. Womp womp. But it's okay, because we got games on tomorrow, and the best playoff series starts tomorrow, so that can make up for it a little bit. So let's take it easy today and then hit it hard tomorrow. Sound good? Sounds good. Alrighty, now let's transition over to the NFL, where we got to talk a little stories, and then we got to talk about the draft. Which team is getting better, which team is getting worse, and which team, it didn't really matter because they were good anyway. They didn't need any draft picks. So rounds 1 and 2 in the NFL draft, we will preview some of those teams. We'll talk through it, and we'll see how many teams we can go over and get to. I don't know if we'll get to all of them. Probably not. Y'all know how we go on this show. We'll go off on tangents, a little rant here and there. Never hurt anybody, but we'll see how much we can get into and then maybe finish it up tomorrow. So let's start here with the first story up, and I just want to talk about this, folks, because I just don't get it. I just don't understand, I guess. I just don't get it. And it's weird to me. This is like the one weird story of this NFL offseason. It's just like, y'all got something good here, like times 2, and you're actively trying to not I just don't get it. I'm going to admit to y'all, I just don't get it. I'm left a little dumbfounded. None of this adds up for me. Maybe it does seem to add up for y'all, because y'all are gushing over one of these, not both of these. But it's just not adding up to me, folks. This is just, every time I see more information come out about the story, I'm just like, I'm the gif of the lady, just kind of puzzled look with the numbers going around, the mathematical formulas and numbers like playing out in her mind, trying to add it all up, and it's not adding up, folks. It's not adding up. So here it is. Well, we knew this part of the story, so the 49ers still have not traded wide receiver Deebo Samuel in this at this year's draft. A lot of people were kind of, if they're going to trade him, they're going to do it in the draft. And that never added up to us, because we're like, well, nobody even wants to trade up. So if there's no great players in this year's draft class, to make people trade up, then why would the 49ers trade Deebo Samuel? It just never made sense that the 49ers would trade Deebo Samuel in this draft. A lot of people speculated that. So far, it has not happened, and I can guarantee you it's not going to happen in rounds 4 through 7. You're not giving up Deebo Samuel for rounds 4 through 7 draft picks. It's not happening. So we had that. Deebo Samuel is still on the 49ers here after the draft. Yes, today is rounds 4 through 7. It's the last day, but he's not getting traded at the draft. So let's go into our article now to see what the new information is, the new stories, because I think it's already done. You already kind of explored the trade route, and once you explore that route, it's kind of done. You've lost that kind of team player trust bond. There's a crack in the foundation and trust and all that, and there's really no coming back from cracks in foundations of trust, folks. We've seen it a plethora of times. So the 49ers have made this mistake twice with Jimmy Garoppolo and Deebo Samuel. Hey, y'all want to get traded? Okay. Okay, well, it didn't really work out. Now y'all are still on the team. Oh, but we still love y'all. Y'all are still great. But we were going to trade you. And these are two players that make your offense tick, and your offense ticked all the way to NFC Championship games and Super Bowls when these players are healthy. So once again, folks, this 49ers team is just not making sense to me, and how they're trying to move off of great players, proven great, winnable players that take you all the way when they're healthy. You are actively trying to kick them off your team. I don't get it. Let's go into this article right here and see if it can make a little bit more sense to us. Are we the only ones not getting it, folks? Am I the only one out here puzzled by what the heck the 49ers are doing? A team that's always competitive for the ring every single year is actively trying to hinder its progress by getting rid of its good players. What team have we seen try to do that? No team. If you want to throw the Rams at me, they got rid of Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford. Yeah, they increased their quarterback talent level. Trey Lance is unproven, folks. Not good. Went to the same college that Carson Wentz went to. And Carson Wentz has just been recently exposed as the worst quarterback in NFL history. Is that someone you want leading your team? Of course not. But the 49ers are asking for it, demanding it, clamoring over it, folks. I see y'all 49ers fans out there gushing over Trey Lance that y'all have not seen in an NFL gameplay well at all. Okay. But here we go. Let's go into this article here. 49ers did not trade standout wide receiver Deebo Samuel and still do not want to, but they tried to. And that's not good. I think that's really not good. So here we go. Let's see what's going on here in San Francisco, because it's bizarro world over there to me. So here we go. 2 nights into the 2022 NFL Draft, wide receiver Deebo Samuel is still a member of the San Francisco 49ers. If things turn out how the Niners hope, that will remain the case well into the future. After Samuel told ESPN's Jeff Darlington about his trade request last week, this week's draft became a sort of soft deadline for a deal to get done. Despite that request, San Francisco general manager John Lynch said Monday he could not imagine a scenario in which he would trade Samuel. On Thursday, the Niners received interest in a deal, but nothing stretched Lynch or Coach Shanahan's imagination to the point a deal became a reality. Quote here by Kyle Shanahan says, quote, "You'll consider anything. You've got a responsibility to help your organization the most you can. But there's no player like Deebo. It's hard to see how that helps your organization. So you try to look into all these aspects of it and what people are willing to do, and nothing was even remotely close that we thought it would be fair for the Niners." So Shanahan saying you'll consider everything. And we did have this. Yeah, let's talk about this. Multiple reports indicated that the New York Jets were the team that made the biggest push to acquire Samuel in a deal that would have included the number 10 overall pick, but also would have involved a pick swap. The Niners declined those overtures, and the Jets ended up using that selection on Ohio State wide receiver Garrett Wilson. Now, The 49ers, they did take trade calls. Kyle Shanahan says you'll consider everything, and I don't think you should be saying that. Remember, we've seen teams, double and triple down. Hey, we're not trading that player. There's no way in heck. We just heard it by Mike Vrabel. As long as I'm the head coach of the Titans, A.J. Brown is not going anywhere. And what happens? A.J. Brown just got traded to the Eagles in the biggest swindle of the decade, folks. More on that to come a little bit later in the show. But we hear teams, general managers, head coaches always double, triple down, doing kind of the thing y'all don't like. Why can't you just talk to us like people? We understand it's a business, but be open. So we do like openness, but we do know teams don't show that openness. Hey, we're not trading anybody here. No, nobody's getting traded. Everybody's good. We've talked to them. We're all on the same page here. Next day, they got traded. What happened there? Teams double down, triple down. No, you're not going anywhere. But Kyle Shanahan said, yeah, you'll consider, we considered everything. We heard from the Jets, and we thought about it for a second, but it wasn't enough. Everybody's kind of up for sale. All this kind of everybody's up for sale mentality, I think that rubs players the wrong way. This 49ers team, they had it. They had the infrastructure coaching wise. They had the players, the talent. We saw them winning every single year in one of the toughest divisions of football, mind you, in one of the toughest divisions in football, with the Seahawks, with the Rams, with the Cardinals. Cardinals are the fourth team to make up that NFC West. Yes. Cardinals, Rams, Niners, Seahawks, NFC West. Yes, toughest division in football, and they're consistently winning, but then they're also consistently trying to trade all their players. As soon as the season ended, hey, Jimmy is gone. We've already talked to him. He's talked to us. We're like, hey, you're out of here. We're moving on. Deebo Samuel, hey, we know we've got this kind of tough relationship. We love you, but we'll trade you, but not for nothing. But we love you still, and we still want you, but we're not going to pay you, and we're still hearing offers, but we still want you here. We still love you, but it's just like, what are y'all doing? 49ers, San Francisco, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Can y'all tell me what y'all are doing? Because I don't understand what y'all are doing. No understanding over here. No comprende over here. So what is going on? Can somebody please tell me what the heck is going on? Deebo Samuel, does he even want to be there? And I don't know. I really don't know if the 49ers can survive without no Deebo Samuel. Brandon Ayuk is good. Nice tall receiver. Juwan Jennings is a nice tall weapon as well. What is Juwan Jennings? 6'3"? 6'4"? We got 6'3", nice tall weapons. We get Brandon Ayuk, I think, is 6'5". These are good tall receivers. And Brandon Ayuk's only 6 foot. Okay, hang on. I had that big time mixed up. So, okay, you lose Deebo Samuel. Now you only got one tall receiver. And we know Deebo Samuel's not tall, but he's fast. So, I mean, another aspect of great football, speed or height. If you have them both, fantastic. But you'd have the size with Juwan Jennings. You'd have the speed with Deebo Samuel. You get rid of Deebo Samuel, and you're left with a very young, tall wide receiver in Juwan Jennings and a good, solid receiver in Brandon Ayuk. Is that going to be enough to get it done, especially with a Trey Lance quarterback who's never played in the NFL? What did he play, like half a game or something? I think he played a little bit this year, but nothing good came out of it. Did he get into any game here? Yeah. He had 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Not good. Not great. He played 1 game, 2 games. What do we got here? Game log. What do we got? 3 games he played in. All right. 69% completion percentage against the Texans. All right. Against the Texans, the worst defense in the league. All right. They did shore that up, though, in the draft, so shout out to the Texans. But, yeah, Trey Lance, y'all know we don't believe in him. But back to the 49ers here. I just don't get it, folks. I just don't understand what Kyle Shanahan wants to do. I think he's rubbing that entire team the wrong way, and I don't think that's the right course of action to make a team better. Rubbing your players, your star players that help you get to the Super Bowl, where you continue to be fit. Kyle Shanahan cannot close out a Super Bowl. He's the Jazz of the NFL, folks. He's the Doc Doc Rivers of the NFL gets to the big games and beefs it big time, beefs big time leads, folks, with the Falcons in the Super Bowl, with the 49ers in the Super Bowl. So maybe Kyle Shanahan, look inward. The problem may be you. It's not Deebo Samuel. It's not Jimmy G. Maybe it's Kyle Shanahan, yeah? So that's where we are currently. We get anything else here in this article? Let's read the next paragraph, see if it's still good here. Here we go. On Friday night, Shanahan addressed the situation for the first time publicly. He acknowledged he was, quote, real surprised and, quote, disappointed a little bit by Samuel's trade request, but also pointed out that in scenarios involving contracts, these things tend to happen. So once again, hey, I'm surprised, but these things happen, and if he's going to ask for money, why is nobody paying anybody anymore? Why is nobody paying anybody anymore? And everybody always uses, hey, oh, well, it's too much against the salary cap. Oh, we can't get the deal done because of salary cap issues and all that. Can we stop that? Because we just had Aaron Rodgers get $50 million this season while going negative against the salary cap this season. So yeah, you can make it make sense, folks. If you do signing bonuses, there's always a workaround and everything. This big year, everybody was converting their contracts into signing bonuses. We've never seen that before, folks. And everybody's big term contract, everybody was converting some of that money in their new deal into a signing bonus so it would not hit the team against the cap. Aaron Rodgers got paid $50 million and they still had enough to sign Davante Adams, and they still had a lot more money to do other things. They just didn't want to pay Davante Adams. They tried to franchise tag him. He took it as disrespect. He left. But overall, you can make it work financially. You can pay these people big deals, convert it to signing bonuses, and it doesn't go against the cap. So you could have paid Deebo Samuel. You are just not wanting to do that. Why? Why? He's helping your team win and get the championship games. Okay, is that not good enough for the 49ers? Folks, none of this makes sense to me. It's not adding up to me. Actively getting rid of good players. How crazy is that? And then right here, folks, we had John Lynch a few days right before the draft. This is coming from April 25th. General Manager John Lynch says he sees a scenario where Jimmy Garoppolo ends up staying on the roster. They're going to be patient with them because he says, quote, you don't just give players like that away. But that's exactly what they're doing. They're just letting great players walk. So once again, they talk up these players. Deebo Samuel is great. We love Jimmy G. He's such a great quarterback. We love him. But we're going to move off of him. But we're going to explore trade options. But Jimmy G, you're out of here right after the season ended. Deebo Samuel, you want to get paid? Well, we're not paying you. We love you. We love you. You're so great. We're not paying you. You're out of here. So I just don't understand it. What is this 49ers team doing? What is their goal? And why the hell is nobody paying anybody anymore? Can we pay people? It's okay. It's okay to pay players. Secure the talent and you win championships. Did you see just what won the championship last season? Great quarterback, great edge rusher, great receiver, great head coach, great cornerback, great endurance-filled running backs, great offensive linemen. Do you see what wins championships? Great players, great players. Pay them. What didn't win? Young first contract players, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. Yeah, Zach Taylor, head coach of the Bengals. We can finally use the correct name here. Zach Taylor. Yes. Young, first contract guys. You can extend people, give them the second deal that's worth a little bit more money because it's going to win you the games, the championship games that truly matter. So, none of this 49ers, none of it makes sense to me. This is the only team that is actively, in my opinion, trying to hinder its success. So, all right, if that's what y'all love, if that's what the 49ers fans want, because it seems like all the 49ers fans that I've seen, that I talked to personally, I talked to 49ers fans personally, I just did so last night. And he's kind of like, yeah, And Jimmy G, He does like Deebo Samuel. Doesn't want to see him go, obviously. I think, definitely 49ers fans don't want to see Deebo Samuel go, but they do want to see Jimmy G go. Once again, why? Please tell me. I don't agree at all. I don't agree at all. So, all right, that's where we're at with the 49ers, folks, wanting to get rid of literally every single one of their good players. That's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see if it works out. All right, let's keep going here. All right, a little bit of a surprise here in the draft. The Ravens trading away wide receiver Hollywood Brown, but it's probably the right decision because the man is not good. But let's go into this article and hear things from his perspective because this all started with him. He's the one that wanted this, so let's see why he wanted out, if he was right, and if the Ravens are better with or without him. So here we go, the lead up to the article. We had Hollywood Brown on his decision to ask to be traded from the Ravens, saying, quote, "It's not really on Lamar. I love Lamar. It was just, it's just the system wasn't for me personally." The system wasn't for you personally? The system wasn't right for you perfectly? Huh? The system where you were getting thrown to 146 times? 146 times, that's not the system you want to be in? You don't want to be like a number one wide receiver? That's the system? Me having production? Davante Adams, you know how many targets he had last season? 169? What, 20 more? 20 more targets? So you're like with like A1 tier 1 level of comp right there? Getting the same amount of targets as Davante Adams, one of the best receivers in the league? That's not the system you want to be in? What? Having 1,000 yards last season is not the system you want to be in? What? Or is it just that you can't catch the ball? You can't catch the deep ball. You don't want to be in a deep ball number one wide receiver system because you're exposed. Look at these catch percentage numbers, folks. 62% last season. That's abysmal. If you're not minimum 65, I don't really want to talk. And honestly, if you're not minimum 67% catch percentage, I really don't want to talk. But I'd push it down a little bit to 65%. This man had 62% catch percentage last season. Trash. That's bad, folks. That's really bad. In 2020, had 100 targets, 58% completion percentage. And he's going deep, folks. 2020 on that awful catch percentage year, 58% of passes thrown to him he caught. Awful. He was averaging 13 yards a reception. Going deep, folks. Davante Adams, in his best season, averaged 13 yards a reception. So in a season, in a system, on a team, when you're getting the same amount of kind of targets, yards, potential production, let me phrase it like that. You're getting the same potential production Davante Adams gets, a number one A1 tier 1 wide receiver in the league, Aaron Rodgers' favorite weapon. That's not the system you want to be in? You don't want to be a number one wide receiver that goes deep? What? That's not the system for you? What's the system for you then? Please tell me. You want to be like Deebo Samuel? Because Deebo Samuel doesn't want to be like Deebo Samuel. He doesn't want to be a running wide receiver, what do they call him, wide back? He doesn't want to be a wide back. He wants to be a true wide receiver so he can get paid like one. But Marquise Brown, what is going on here? Just because you're bad, just call it like it is. Don't demand a trade and call it the system. Call it, hey, you can't catch the deep ball. You can't catch the wide open deep ball. Let's call it like it is, yes? So let's go into this article. Let's see what this man is saying, because I'm not, what? Once again, what? What is going on here? First of all, what the heck are people saying? Second of all, what the heck are people doing? And third of all, what the heck is going on here? Here we go. Let's see what we get here. Here we go. while it was surprising to many, including Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, and I don't think it wasn't surprising to him. I think that's the whole thing. We're not going to get into it, but there was like a tweet. Lamar Jackson said like, what the heck or something on draft night, like a little bit after Marquise Brown got traded, and then everybody was kind of like, oh my God, Lamar Jackson didn't even know. Oh my God. But then we're going to read it that Marquise Brown told Lamar Jackson this. Like he's been known about this. So I think this was like a false narrative that was getting pushed because of a tweet that people took wrong, if I could put it like that. So I don't like that. But here we go. The first lead up. While it was surprising to many, including Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, it wasn't shocking for Brown, who confirmed Friday that he previously had requested a trade, saying, quote, yeah, I asked them for a trade after the season. So he did ask for a trade, wanted out of this great system that was prioritizing him as kind of wide receiver number one. That's not the system he wants to be in. That's crazy. That's literally crazy talk. We don't hear receivers be like, oh, I don't want to be a number one. When was the last receiver that said, hey, I don't want to be a number one? Oh, hey, the number one, that's not for me. The deep ball, 13 yards per reception. Yeah, that's not for me. The 146 targets a year. Yeah, that's not for me. That's not the system I want to be in. Like, what? Wild. Here we go. Next lead up to the next quote. Ravens general manager Eric DeCosta said as much on Thursday night before Brown explained it more on Friday. DeCosta saying this, quote, it's a complicated topic. It was something that I anguished over for a long time. He would tell you he and I had many conversations throughout the spring. So, all right, this is something that we really didn't hear of. So, things do go under the radar, folks. This is something that we do not need to kind of keep in mind because there's ways to go about things, folks. There's different avenues that you can take. So when we see players kind of, I don't want to say doing it the wrong way, do it however you honestly feel like you can benefit or get the result you're desiring. I don't know what your intentions are every single time you move, okay, folks, but just kind of a little optically doing it the wrong way. Kyler Murray, unfollowing everything on Twitter and social media and having his agent put out a statement about wanting more money and not going to play until he gets more money. I think that's a little bit of the wrong way to go about it. But once again, hey, that's your decision. You make it. I'm not going to knock it. I'll talk about it. I'm not judging it per se. I will talk about it. I'm not judging it. I do think those two things can be separated, but we will talk about it. We will knock it if it's a little crazy. We did knock it a little bit, but overall in the general sense, hey, do what you think is right. So Marquise Brown having conversations, not really playing at all in the media. This caught everybody by surprise. I did not think they were going to do this. If they were going to do this, it would have been to the factor that Marquise Brown is trash. Hey, you're bad. We're going to get rid of you. Not, hey, you want to leave the team yourself. So there are different ways to go about things, folks. Let's keep that in mind, yes? But here we go. Next quote here, next lead up. Though Jackson expressed his alarm via social media after the trade went down, but once again, Lamar Jackson, we'll go to his tweets right here, folks. I'll show y'all. I think y'all took this out of context a little bit right here. So let's go back through Lamar Jackson's timeline. We're going to go, here we go. We get, what's the first tweet of the night? The 28th? We're looking at the 28th or the 28th, right here. First tweet of the night here. We get, right here. R.I.P. Bruce. Hollywood Brown tweets that out. R.I.P. Bruce. And then Lamar Jackson quotes the tweet with full, kind of folded hands emojis. Then the next tweet. He retweets this. What the fucking fuck, bro? We traded away Hollywood. Heartbroken emoji. And then Hollywood Brown tweets out, wish I could have played with my brother forever, but I'm going to see you at the top. Lamar Jackson tweets that with crossing finger emojis. And then this is the tweet that really caught everybody by surprise. The what the fuck, WTF. So a lot of people are taking that. Oh, Lamar Jackson said WTF after the Ravens traded away Marquise Hollywood Brown. But that's not really it, because Lamar Jackson said it's not about my new center, stop that BS. So, I don't know, folks. I don't know if Lamar Jackson was truly surprised by this because, once again, we're going to hear from Hollywood Brown. So, let's go back to the quotes right here. Here we go. Right here. Though Jackson expressed his alarm via social media after the trade went down, I guess a little bit, it was something the quarterback knew was on the horizon, saying, quote, "It was something, my business." Brown said, quote, "I talked to Lamar about it after my second year, and then again after my third year, leading up to the end of the season, he wasn't playing. I let him know again, yeah, bro, I can't do it. It's not really on Lamar. I love Lamar. It was just, it's just the system wasn't for me personally. I love all my teammates. I love the guys, but it was just something I had to think about for myself. The Ravens, we both handled it the right way. I didn't go out and make anything public. I just kept it in-house, kept working. It all worked out. So, yes, you can do it the right, once again, not the right way, but overall, I guess, baseline, in a perfect world, this is the right way to go about things. Keep everything in-house. But once again, do it the way you want to do it, folks, absolutely. So, Marquise Brown, unhappy with the situation, went to kind of, the owners, the coaches, be like, hey, this isn't the system for me. Let me get out of here. And that's exactly what happened. All right, let's go to this potentially last quote we'll read. Next lead up here. The 25th overall pick of the 2019 NFL Draft. Brown is coming off his first 1,000-yard season, but the statistical milestone was hardly emblematic of his comfortability in the Ravens offense. That ultimately was what led him wanting to move on from Baltimore, saying, quote, "It was just the situation I was put in a lot of times. As a receiver in college, I didn't catch as many balls, but the situations I was put in situations that could help me thrive. And I just felt times throughout my career in Baltimore, I wasn't put in the best situations. It was just something that I was dealing with, but I never complained. For Lamar, I would just keep working. Let's get the Super Bowl. So, Hollywood Brown said, hey, this is just not for me. Maybe he's not the number one receiver. Maybe he wants to be a little bit more of a slot guy, not that kind of home run ball, straight vertically, 4 verticals, go out 50 yards, I'll throw you the bomb, because that's where we saw all of kind of his drops come from. The deep balls, like the wide open deep balls, not good. So, Marquise Brown now unofficially a Raven, and now officially an Arizona Cardinal, because that's exactly where he gets traded to. So now Kyler Murray having some more weapons. He loves it. He tweets out, let's run it back. Hollywood to the desert. Y'all welcome my boy. So now we have Kyler Murray with DeAndre Hopkins, hopefully healthy this year. AJ Green back. We don't really love that. And now you get Hollywood Brown. And maybe, Hollywood Brown is kind of a number 3 receiver. Yeah, that could maybe be a little bit more of his fit, a little bit more of his speed. So, all in all, I guess I knocked Hollywood Brown a little bit. How we were talking about and knocking his catch percentage and all that. Maybe I went a little bit too hard on him. I kind of liked what I heard from him in those quotes. So I would like to kind of walk back a little bit of our knockingness on Hollywood Brown. Let's see what he can do here in Arizona. Didn't like the system, didn't like the fit, didn't think he was getting utilized the right way. Made a change the right way. And we'll see if he's happier and more productive, a little bit more of an impactful, positive producer on this Cardinals team. So, actually, let's shout out Hollywood Brown, folks. I'm going to shout him out. Those quotes won me over. Well done, Hollywood Brown. I am on Hollywood Brown now, folks. I wasn't on Hollywood Brown all the way up until this. He drops balls, folks. I can't trust a wide receiver who drops wide open dimes. I can't do that. But we just said, those quotes we read, yeah, drop all the passes you want. I'm buying it. I'm gushing over Marquise Brown now. The man's just a great level-headed guy. I love it, folks. Cardinals, if Kyler Murray's whole situation wasn't wonky, yeah, maybe the Cardinals could make the big leap this year, but I still don't love the dynamic between the front office and Kyler Murray. I think that could truly hinder the good success that the Cardinals could potentially really have this year if everything was like 100%, everybody was like 100% on the same page there in Arizona, which they're clearly not at the current moment. So, all right, Marquise Brown now an Arizona Cardinal, and I'm kind of liking it. I'm kind of liking it, folks. Really liking it. All right, here we go. Let's keep moving on here, and I love this. Ooh, gosh, I love this, folks. Big time. I am big time on the Eagles this season, folks. Big time. Like, they could probably win the entire thing this year. They're easily going to win the division. They're easy peasy going to win the division, folks. Can we bet this? I forgot the last time that I think we bet this before, but I'm going to bet this again. What are the odds that the Philadelphia Eagles, that they win the division? Division winners, here we go. NFC East, folks. And look at this. The Eagles, the second favorites at plus 275 to win the NFC East. Cowboys at minus 110 are the favorites. Absolutely absurd. Eagles to win the division. I love it. Eagles to make the playoffs. Hang on. Can we parlay these together? I know we can't, but I'm going to try anyway. Here we go. Eagles for the division win. Eagles to make the playoffs. Yes, at plus 100. Look at all the value here, folks. Oh, my God. Win totals. Can we do win totals here? Where's it at? Team props, win totals. I thought I just saw it. Winner, conference winner, division. We got regular season wins right here. Here we go. Eagles over 8.5 wins. They only have to win 9 games. Yes. That's only at minus 120. Okay. All right. Not the best value, but that's fine. To make the playoffs. Did we already say this? Did we already bet that one? Yep. Can we do conference winner? Do we dare go conference winner? Yeah, let's go conference winner. Let's not go that far quite yet. The Rams are still, in the NFC. I'm not scared of the Packers. The Bucks have Tom Brady. Still got to be wary of them. But Eagles to come out of the NFC at plus 1,800. Maybe throw a few bucks on that. Now, unfortunately, we cannot parlay these three together. Eagles to be the division winner, Eagles to make the playoffs, and Eagles over 9.5 wins. But they all go together, folks. So put $10,000. Here we go. $10,000 on every single one of these 3 single bets, folks. Yes? 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. We have 3 bets. Hey. Oh, we can? Hey, whoa. I can parlay these together? Are you kidding me? $10,000? I can parlay them together, folks? Is that correct? Oh, no. That was just doing 3 singles. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, but I want to do $10,000 on all 3 of these bad boys. $30,000. $30,000. Let me do the math here. Get up the trusty calculator. $30,000 pays out. $75,833. $30,000. Turn it into $75,000, folks. That's the come up. That's the flip. That's the lick. Eagles. Division winner. Make the playoffs over 8.5 wins. All of that is easy peasy, folks. Love it. Eagles. Now, let's get back to the main point here. Why we love the Eagles so much. We'll talk about it a little bit more coming up in the first round. I love it. But this right here, the Philadelphia Eagles remain interested in Tyrann Mathieu, folks. If they get that great safety on that great defense already, I love them even more, folks. Already gushing over the Eagles. Already bet $30,000 to win $75,000 on the Eagles. And that's before Tyrann Mathieu is even an Eagle. I am bumping that bet up to $50,000 on all 3 of those bets if Tyrann Mathieu is an Eagle at some point. All right? I am loving the Eagles. They won the draft already. So, as we talk this draft, let's talk the draft, folks. First 2 rounds have wrapped up. We are live in round 4 through 7 today, right now, actually, going on live. But once again, it's rounds 4 through 7. Who cares? This is where it's all mystery. Who really knows? So, we're not going to put too much stock in who these teams pick up in rounds 4 through 7, because it's mostly going to be misses. There may be a hit here and there, but we're really just focusing in on the first 3 rounds. This is where all the better players are. This is where we kind of know what we're getting in terms of production, in terms of what we can expect out of these players. But rounds 4 through 7, it is a crapshoot. The draft overall is a crapshoot, but especially rounds 4 through 7. So, now that the more important rounds have finished up, let's see who's making the splash, who's getting it done, who's rivaling the Eagles as having the best trade of this year, folks. So let's start at the top here. We're going alphabetical order, folks, because that's how everything is arranged here. So here we go. Let me do a day. Let me order it like, let's do this. Here we go. Let's do it like this. Here we go. All right, so Arizona Cardinals, let's start them. Round 1, they didn't have a pick because they used that pick to trade for Hollywood Brown, a wide receiver. All right, so not bad there. Marquise Brown, we don't love him as a receiver, but, he did win us over when we talked about his quote. But what I do think about this is that the front office of the Cardinals are like, hey, all right, now, this is what Kyler Murray wants, another weapon. Let's go offensive side of the ball here with our kind of first overall pick, because they did use a pick for the trade here. They didn't draft anybody with the pick, but they used the pick to trade for a wide receiver. So the front office with the Cardinals, like, hey, let's get Kyler Murray some more help here. Let's boost up this offense. And why this is good, because we know the front office and Kyler Murray have been a little bit at odds this offseason. Not 100%, but we have seen the little bit of potential cracks forming in that trust and foundation and relationship. So I think this speaks some volume here. Not volumes, big volumes, but little small volumes here of the Cardinals being like, hey, first round, let's go out and get Marquise Brown. Yeah? Let's kind of, work on this relationship. Let's make Kyler Murray happy, so in turn we can have a good year this upcoming season. So, yes, they're not paying him, but they did pick up the 5th-year option. They get Marquise Brown. It seems to be like this relationship is mending between the front office and Kyler Murray, and I think that may be a huge, great thing for this Cardinals team. I do know it's a huge, great thing for this Cardinals team. So, that's absolutely huge for the Cardinals. And then on day 2, we had the Cardinals going tight end, when they already had Zach Ertz and Max Williams. Let's get Trey McBride, another tight end, another weapon for Kyler Murray. And then the next 2 picks here, they go defensive end and another edge rusher. So yeah, bolstering up the defense, but more importantly, showing offensive goodwill for Kyler Murray, and I think that's going to play out big time in the long run here of Arizona. So I think we're back on liking Arizona, because we fell off a little bit. We were knocking Kyler Murray of him not understanding leverage and all that, and that kind of rift starting to form between their trust and bond, and now it's all patched up. We are now back good on this Cardinals team. Like it. Don't still love it, but now we like it a little bit more here. So, Cardinals, that's what they've been doing. Solid, good draft so far. This is a good winning draft for this Cardinals team so far. Mending the relationship with Kyler Murray. All right, here we go. Now, next up here, the Atlanta Falcons, and they drafted in the first round wide receiver Drake London, and 6'5" wide receiver, give me that. And we know Calvin Ridley cannot play this season because he was betting on games. Not good. So he's suspended this entire season. The Falcons are like, hey, we need a receiver. Sheesh, we can't go this season again with no receiver, because once again, Calvin Ridley didn't even play last year either. So they go out and get USC wide receiver Drake London. Great tall receiver. I love tall weapons. Y'all know I love that. So, all right, solid pick by the Falcons with the first round. And then on the second round, they go defense here. We get edge rusher Arnold Ikabiti. in the linebacker Troy Anderson. Then we go this route, and I don't love this, but it's okay. The Falcons drafted a quarterback at the 74th pick in Desmond Ridder. Now, we like Marcus Mariota, and I really want Marcus Mariota to be the starter here. I don't even really want it to be a competition. I understand quarterback competition to push it. Now, there's another quarterback competition that's more important than this Falcons quarterback competition between Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder. We'll get to that when we get to that team. I'll spoil the team, the Tennessee Titans, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But this Falcons team getting Desmond Ridder, I don't love it. Desmond Ridder, I believe, is the second best quarterback in this draft class, so that's a decent plus for the Falcons. But I really would love to see Marcus Mariota get that second opportunity to prove something with this, just prove something in the NFL. And if you can do it with the Falcons, that'd be great. So Marcus Mariota or Desmond Ridder coming up this season. Most likely Marcus Mariota as a developed Desmond Ridder, but who knows what's going to happen in training camp and who's going to show out good. But the Falcons do draft a quarterback because they need to get it figured out. So, alrighty, Arthur Smith trying to put his spin on this Falcons team. Let's see how it all works out here. But love the receiver pickup, bolstering those edge rushers. Got to have those edge rushers. We know those wins championships. So, Falcons slowly but surely starting, still in the rebuild, still in this rebuild process, but a real solid draft here for them. All right, next team up here, we get the Baltimore Ravens in round one. They go safety in center. They go safety Kyle Hamilton, in center Tyler Linderbaum. Now, the Ravens, they really just need a wide receiver. Can they go out and get a good, true number one, big, tall, productive, can catch wide receiver? Now, the Ravens, they do have Rashad Bateman, who they got last year, but he hasn't really 100% panned out. He had like 500 yards last season, never made a big time splash. He's going to have to truly step it up in here for the Ravens in year two, and maybe that's what the Ravens are expecting. Like, that's why they didn't go wide receiver, and I can understand if they were thinking like that. But the Ravens also got rid of, Marquise Brown and didn't really kind of do anything in round one to kind of, address that. They went safety, they went center. Round number two here for the Ravens, once again, not getting a receiver, going edge rusher, going defensive tackle. So Ravens just kind of truly focusing on their defense and still making this Ravens team like 100% pure running team. This Ravens team is still wanting to hold Lamar Jackson back from throwing the ball, and I don't really understand that part of it. I do think Lamar Jackson is an above average, great. I'm going to say great. Very, very good. Great. I think you can make the argument for great. I'll go very, 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 very good. You can make the argument for great, though. Very, very, very good passer. We know he's a great, exceptional runner, absolutely. But I don't understand why this Ravens team is wanting to hold Lamar Jackson from letting it rip, only throwing to Mark Andrews, the tight end. Getting rid of Hollywood Brown. Even though he was throwing the deep ball to Hollywood Brown, and it was Hollywood Brown that was dropping the ball, not anything Lamar Jackson was doing. So I just don't understand what the Ravens are doing with Lamar Jackson. They're not paying him. And I understand why they're not paying him, because, the health issues and, not getting to like an AFC championship game when you're competing against Patrick Mahomes, who's always getting to AFC championship games. So I can understand the Ravens not wanting to pay him big, big, big money, but they're still not paying him, and they're not helping him with weapons, and they're just basically like, all right, you're the runner, and this is a running team. So I don't love the Ravens draft here. They are shoring up their defense. Yeah, that's great. But we also need to score the ball. Defense doesn't help out until the Super Bowl. We know this now, folks. Defense wins you the ring, but you have to get to the ring to win the ring. So every other game besides the Super Bowl, we need the offense. And this Ravens team, we'll see if their offense is good. We'll see if Rashad Bateman can take a true second step here in the NFL. So overall for the Ravens, they got good grades. NFL gave them an A+ day one and an A day two. I don't agree. I don't know. A worthy. B- is okay. I don't know about A. I don't know. The offense, folks. We need offense here. Ravens struggling with the offense. All right, here we go. Let's go to the next team. We got the Buffalo Bills here. First round, they go cornerback Kaiir Elam. All right, they really had a luxury here with Buffalo. They didn't really need anything. I want this Buffalo Bills team to get a running back, but they didn't do it first round, but they did it in the second round. So Bills here, they go Georgia running back James Cook in the second round, and that's fine. That's where everybody likes to take their running back. Second round, nobody wants to use a first-round pick on a running back, so Bills doing it right here. James Cook, if the Bills can get that certified running game, good. Y'all know how we feel. We know that Josh Allen has been single-handedly carrying this offense, running and passing-wise. So if James Cook can do better than Devin Singletary, which it's not going to be that hard to, if this Bills team can truly establish a running identity at some sort, it doesn't even have to be good. It just has to be there. Well, it has to be good. It doesn't have to be great. It has to be good. Has to be there. Has to be good. Doesn't have to be great. But if this Bills team can just get a good running game established, this is the team, the complete team in the AFC. Josh Allen can do it all. They just need to have that presence of a running game so Josh Allen isn't kind of, oh, we know he's going to throw. Oh, we know, hey, it's going to be it's going to be a drop back because Josh Allen can't run, but hey, he's dropping back. We know what he's trying to do here. So we know the Bills had the number one defense last year, still beefed the final 13 seconds, but they get a running back here, round one, shore up a cornerback, and then with their third pick here, we get a linebacker, Terrell Bernard. So I think the Bills had a really great draft. They didn't really need anything besides the running back, and they had a really good address to that. James Cook, who I believe is Dalvin Cook's brother. I do believe that is the case. Shall I double check this? James Cook, Dalvin Cook brother? Or not Dalvin Cook. Yeah, Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook brother. That's all I'm typing. Question mark. Google. What do you got for me? Dalvin Cook. Are James Cook and Dalvin Cook related? Brother of Dalvin Cook. Yes. So there it is, folks. The Cook brothers in the league, and I haven't even seen James Cook, but I'm taking James Cook over Dalvin Cook. Let me see. James Cook. He's got better stats in college. Let's see. What do you got for us, Jamesy? Here we go. James Cook. Only 700 yards last year? Interesting. All right. What did Dalvin Cook? I'm sure Dalvin Cook had more. Dalvin Cook of, y'all know where that man went to college? Anybody want to guess? I know where Dalvin Cook went to college, folks. He went to Florida State. Here we go. Career stats. I want college. Where are these college stats at? Here we go. Dalvin Cook at Florida State. He had oh my goodness. This man blew his brother out of the water. What the hell? Maybe I can't make this assertion. Y'all know we're not the biggest on Dalvin Cook, but holy moly, 1,700 yards his junior year, 1,600 yards his sophomore year, 1,000 yards his freshman year. Man, oh my goodness, James Cook does not even sniff it. He has it. Oh my goodness, he rushed for 1,300 yards, for 1,500 yards his entire season, his entire collegiate career. Dalvin Cook rushed for 1,700 yards his last season alone. Oh, my goodness. All right, maybe the Bills didn't get the best running back in the league, folks. We'll truly see what he does in the NFL system, but man, oh, man, the man was getting no burn in Georgia. Holy cow. No production, I should say. So the Bills, they got the positions right. Did they get the right guys? That's going to be seen this upcoming season. So overall, still... We'll put it a good draft, but we'll see if it pans out. This was a good position draft. I'll call it like that. Bills had the good positions. Are these the right players? That's what's going to determine if they are good or not. So we'll see. All right, let's head to the next team here. We go in Carolina Panthers. And all right, they used the first round pick, number 6 overall on offensive tackle, Ike Okonwu. So, all right, they go offensive lineman. All right, still have to figure out that quarterback position, which they did, round 2. And y'all know we don't like the Panthers at all, literally at all. We don't like Matt Rule at all, but we can't help it. They got the right guy. The Panthers choose Matt Corral as their quarterback in the second round, and that's exactly it. Yeah. We love Matt Corral. This is what do we... This is what we loved about Matt Corral, that he was slinging the ball, real great velocity, quick zip on the ball, quick reads as well. He knew right as the ball was snapped, looking at what the defense was doing on their first steps. He was seeing exactly where to go with the ball, making the right reads. We saw the big arm. We saw the great accuracy. We loving Matt Corral. The only knocks on Matt Corral are what they say right here. While off-field concerns might have contributed to Corral's fall in the draft, he's a potential future starter with a quick release and movement skills. Yeah, we definitely saw that. That jumped off the tape to us, absolutely. And these off-field concerns, we really weren't getting anything really concrete on that. Do we get anything? But there was, what did they say here? What did Ian Rappaport say? See, right there, this is what Ian Rappaport said. I know you all can't hear the audio, but this man just said everybody kind of agreed that he had the best film of all the quarterbacks. Let me keep listening. Comfortable off-field issues, including alcohol? What's the whole alcohol issue? This is the first time I heard it. Explain it to me. Does he? Let's keep listening. Let me keep listening. I'll report back. Here we go. Unreliable behavior. He's admitted he's faced depression. Struggled in interviews with teams. But the Panthers said the talent's enough for us to overlook all those off-field issues, those red flags. So we do like Matt Corral here. Really, we just looked at the tape and the stats and all that. We really never paid attention to his off-field issues. But leave it up to Matt Rhule and this Panthers team to overlook red flags. When you really can't do that, you must get it right here. So we love Matt Corral, but if the Panthers are any indication, Matt Corral will pan out how everybody imagined Matt Corral panning out. Not good because of off-field issues, not being able to, not that he gets into trouble, but depression, alcoholism, potentially not great there. You know, we saw what happened in Vegas, driving drunk, not good. So, leave it to the Carolina Panthers to ruin our great pick of Matt Corral. So, we'll see how he pans out. But the Panthers, they do have the quarterback and are finally moving off of Sam Darnold. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Alrighty, let's go to the Bears now. Now the Bears did not have any first-round pick because they used it to get Justin Fields last year, but they did have 3 in the second and third rounds, so they used that for cornerback Kyler Gordon, safety Jaquan Brisker, and wide receiver Velus Jones. Now, defensive mind coach goes his first 2 picks defensive. Alrighty, corner safety, classic. That's why we think the Bears made the wrong decision. This is about developing Justin Fields, and you have no weapons for this man. Let's go to the Bears depth chart and see who these receivers are, because these are not good. Now we've got rookie wide receiver, okay. So once again, we don't have Allen Robinson anymore, so we have Darnell Mooney, Brian Pringle, Aquania St. Brown, which, you know, can pan out. These players can pan out. What did Darnell Mooney have last season? 1,000 yards, but once again, only 5'11", short guy. Alrighty. Can you make him still work? Can he be a true number 1? So these are not any kind of A1, tier 1 wide receivers to help out a neglected Justin Fields. So once again, that's why we don't love the Bears' decision to go defensive-minded head coach. So I don't really love the Bears draft at all. We better hope Velus Jones pans out. And how tall is Velus Jones? Because if he's not tall, and you get another short receiver, we're really not doing anything here. Velus Jones, 6 foot. That's not really moving the needle. I need to see 6'2" and above. What do we get? Brian Pringle. He's 6'1"? 6'1", yeah, that's what I thought. And then Aquanius St. Brown. I think he may be 6'2" at max. Oh my goodness, holy cow, I was wrong. 6'5". You better make sure he's your number 1 receiver. Holy moly. Man, holy cow. Wow. 6'5", sheesh. Use that, absolutely. So the Bears, they've got unproven talent at the wide receiver position. Darnell Mooney had a really good year last year. I'll give him that. Playing second fiddle to Allen Robinson, but they did kind of use Darnell Mooney as the one. They kind of neglected Allen Robinson a little bit. So if Darnell Mooney can continue to play well, Brian Pringle shows up, Aquanius St. Brown shows up, we're Gucci. Velus Jones, though, doesn't move the needle for me. So Chicago Bears, draft. Then we're going to the Bengals next, and a little interesting on what the Bengals did. I don't love it. They used their first-round draft pick with the defensive back, Daxton Hall. All right. And then in the second and third rounds, they go corner and defensive tackle. All right. What about the line? Wasn't that the problem of the Bengals last season? Joe Burrow getting obliterated? And they didn't draft any offensive linemen here? All right. Did they address it enough in free agency? I don't know. I don't think so. I would have drafted one. I would have drafted at least one. Shoot. I mean, shit. All right. So, Bengals, they go defense. I don't know if that's the case. I would have taken at least one offensive lineman, but maybe that's what they do today. Maybe they do that today. I don't know. I don't like it, though. So, Bengals, meh. Then we had the Browns, who had no first-round pick for going after Deshaun Watson. And then in the second round, they go cornerback, defensive end, and wide receiver David Bell. Now, it doesn't matter about these wide receivers. Who cares? Because Deshaun Watson can make anybody good. So, all right, give him a weapon. Yeah, that's fine. But shore up that defense. Yeah, your offense is good. Your offense is great. You got the receiver. Well, not great. You got great running backs. You got Deshaun Watson. That makes you great. Solid receivers. Bolster up that defense. Yeah, I'm about it. So, Browns, solid play here. Making the most out of their no first-round pick. Then we go Cowboys, and they use their first-round pick on an offensive tackle, and I love that. Let's get this running game a little bit more established because they're going to have to rely on the running game more here this season because we know the passing game is going to take a hit. So first round, Cowboys go offensive lineman. We love it. Second round, they go defensive end, Sam Williams. And then in the third round, they go wide receiver from Alabama, Jalen Tolbert. Now, let's see. How tall is Jalen Tolbert? Are we going big here? What do we got? Jalen Tolbert, 6'1". Alrighty, solid height, nothing to write home about. But we know the Cowboys are definitely going to have to, get wide receiver help. CeeDee Lamb, Simi Fehoko is really who we're counting on of stepping it up big time. We really need great production from him. And we'll see if CeeDee Lamb can be a true number one here. But getting Jalen Tolbert, bolstering that wide receiver room a little bit more, not too bad there. So Cowboys, all right. We are still only liking them in 4 or 5 wins this season. But they had a real solid draft here, winning us over a little bit more. All right, then we go for the Broncos here. No first-round pick because they used it for Russell Wilson. But in the second round, they go defense and edge rusher Nick Bonito. And then they go tight end and Greg Dulcich. But overall, Broncos, they're really not needing anybody. Everything's really kind of good. They're just making sure everything else is good and real solid here. So they have to replace Noah Fant. They got rid of him in a trade. We didn't love that, but they used that. They used their third-round pick to try and do that. So Broncos just trying to shore up the team a little bit. So overall, yeah, good draft. I mean, you didn't need anything. You had a little small, very, very small holes to fill, and you kind of did that. So real good, solid draft so far by the Broncos. Then we go to the Lions, who they kind of need everybody here. So first round pick, number 2 overall, they go edge rusher Aiden Hutchinson, who a lot of people thought was going to go number 1. So that was a no-brainer for the Lions. And then in their other first round pick, they go wide receiver Jameson Williams. Now, what do we get with Jameson Williams? How tall is he? We going big? Once again, only 6'1". Where are all these tall receivers? Where are the 6'5"? Where are the 6'5", Charlie Brown? Damn. All this wide receiver heavy draft and we're going 6'1"? Give me the size. But all right, Lions going edge rushers 1 and wide receiver for 2. Which is solid here for this Lions team, needing, once again, multitude of help. And then in the second round, they go defense and defensive tackle Josh Paschal and safety Kirby Joseph. So Lions just trying to kind of do anything to take that year 2 step. Solid foundation with Dan Campbell. We still don't love Jared Goff. The Lions still need to bring in another quarterback. There are still some available. Still have Gardner Minshew out there. Still have Baker Mayfield out there. So I would expect the Lions to make a move at a veteran quarterback to push Jared Goff, because kind of the main name quarterbacks are all gone. Malik Willis, Desmond Ridder, Kenny Pickett, and Matt Corral. Those were really only the big ones. I doubt the Lions reach for anything below those. So expect the Lions to still make a little bit of a splash here with their quarterbacks after the draft here, but they're just trying to shore up their other holes, so not too bad there. All right, then we're going to go the Green Bay Packers, and this is so funny, folks. Love it. Love what this Packers team is doing. Round 1, they had 2 picks, and they went defense on both, losing Davante Adams with Aaron Rodgers, who complains every year, I have no help this, no help this. How much more help do I need? This is why I'm not winning Super Bowls. The team doesn't trust me. I get no help. They don't give me the pieces, blah, blah, blah. And in the first round, they do just that because, screw it. Screw them. Screw Aaron Rodgers, folks. Y'all know how we feel about that. But the Packers in the first round, they go linebacker and defensive tackle. Then in the second round, the Packers get wide receiver Christian Watson. All right, finally giving Aaron Rodgers some help. What do we got Christian Watson at? A nice 6'4". Thank y'all. Finally, the Packers doing something. Y'all letting a 6'4" wide receiver drop to the second round. Shame on y'all. So you get Aaron Rodgers, a little bit of help there. And then also in the third round, they go offensive tackle, Sean Ryan. So first day they went defense, but all the, quote unquote good players are in the first round. So Packers may have missed a little bit of an opportunity there. Do I get this? Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Then we get this by Aaron Rodgers as well. A little bit of a quote over the weekend. It says, quote, when I made my decision, I was still thinking he was going to come back. So Aaron Rodgers, once again, sending out, these quotes on, we can, read into this quote that he's unhappy. Davante Adams left, saying, when I made my decision, I was still thinking he was going to come back. So, yeah, he wanted to stay in Green Bay, still wanted to have Davante Adams, doesn't have Davante Adams, rarely got him help. So we know Aaron Rodgers is maybe still displeased with the Packers, but we also don't know because he's Riddler Rodgers, and this is still the whole charade that he puts on. So who knows how Aaron Rodgers truly feels? We don't really ever know because he keeps us guessing here, but I just love it, folks. This is what Aaron Rodgers deserves. He is not the, he should not ever be holding a franchise hostage, and I love every time Aaron Rodgers holds this team hostage, the team kind of, slights him in some way. And we're not gonna, offer Davante Adams all this big contract. We're gonna franchise tag him, which we know he does not absolutely want. And if we do that, he'll walk. We'll do that. We're not gonna go, receiver in the first round. We never go receiver in the first round, so we're still not gonna do that. Okay, so love what the Packers are doing here, sticking it to Aaron Rodgers, and that's really all. We all should be doing that a little bit more, folks. A little bit more. Alrighty, let's keep going on here. Next team up to talk about, we're going to Houston Texans. Now, they had a pretty solid first round because they had 2 first-round picks. They used the number 3 overall to get defensive back Derek Stingley Jr. Now, we know this Texans defense was the worst defense maybe in the league last season. They were giving up the deep ball like 5 times a game, and that was really the only thing that they were giving up consistently that made them lose games, really, for the most part. The big shots down the field. That was really how teams were scoring on them, moving the ball down in chunk plays, picking the Texans' secondary apart, and they addressed a little bit of that issue with their number 3 overall pick. And then, on the number 15th overall pick in the first round, they go offensive lineman, Kenyon Green. So, helping out Davis Mills a little bit more, who everybody on the Texans are still big on, so really did like their first round. And then in the second round, we get a mix of, once again, offense and defense, which is great. They go safety, they go wide receiver, and then they go linebacker. So love that, shoring up that defense. Let's see, John Mechie the third, folks. Yes, sir. I believe we got 6'3" here. Only 5'11". No, all right. I don't love that. But he only has to kind of be a number 2 because they still got a very, very good wide receiver that's always productive. I am blanking on the name. I'm disappointed in myself. Here we go. Let's bring his name up here. It starts with the B. Does it start with the B? Brandon Cooks. Yes, it does start with the B. That's the man who gives us 1,000-yard production seasons regardless who's the quarterback, regardless of the situation. So now he actually only has to be kind of maybe even the number 4, yeah. Nico Collins, wide receiver number 2. Chris Conley, number 3. So, yeah, this rookie wide receiver, if he pans out, fantastic, and he doesn't have to kind of immediately come in and make an impact. So I really love this Texans draft. They graded it a B, though. This is what I'm saying. You're giving the Texans a B, but you're giving who else? They gave the Broncos an A for not even having a pick. I guess because they used it to get, Russell Wilson. I get it, but damn, people got no picks and you are giving them A's? All right. I don't love the B here. I think that's a little disrespectful, but okay. All right. All right, so the Texans, I do kind of like the draft a little bit, folks. I do think that was a really good A-worthy draft. I give it an A. All right, here we go. Next team up, we're going the Colts, and they did not have a first-round pick because of Carson Wentz last year. Womp, womp. Carson Wentz, the ghost of Carson Wentz is still haunting this Colts team. Not great. All righty, and then in the second round, they go wide receiver, tight end, offensive tackle, and then a safety. They shore up the defense a little bit. But the Colts are like, offense. We are going to give Matt Ryan all the help he needs because we cannot go 4 years, 4 different quarterbacks that are all kind of proven in their own right. We're not going to go 4 quarterbacks in 4 years trying to figure it out. We're putting everything in place right now. So they go Cincinnati wide receiver Alec Pierce. What do we got height-wise here? I need a big weapon here, Colts. Come on. 6'3". There we go. Love it. Then they go tight end, Jelani Woods. Y'all know we love the tight end. Shout out Tight End University. And he's a nice big old 6'7", 260 tight end. Big, tall, beefy. Yeah. And then they get an offensive lineman here, offensive tackle, Bernard Raymond, to shore up the line to protect Matt Ryan. So Colts, nothing in the first round, but they killed it in their second round picks. Shout out to the Colts here. And Matt Ryan, you got to sink or swim here this year. Really got to swim. I would love to see Matt Ryan be the quarterback to, Phillip Rivers can't do it. Hall of Famer Phillip Rivers can't do it. Fraudulent Carson Wentz couldn't do it. But it's going to be Matt Ryan. Blown Super Bowl. Matt Ryan gets it all together here for the Colts. I'm kind of rooting for it, folks. So really did think the Colts had a really good draft. They already have a nice infrastructure, and they just shored up that offense for Matt Ryan this year. Love it. Alrighty, and then we go to the next team up here. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars, round 1. They go edge rusher Trayvon Walker with the first overall pick, and Doug Peterson, I trust. Everybody was saying Aiden Hutchinson was the first overall pick, but the Jags go Trayvon Walker, the other edge rusher. So I give all the believability into Doug Peterson, the new head coach for this Jaguars team. Love it. And then in the other first round pick they went defense as well. Linebacker Devin Lloyd. So yeah, Doug Peterson's not worried about the offense. He has everything he needs in the offense. Doesn't need to spend first round picks to bolster the offense because Doug Peterson's good. He's an offensive minded coach that knows how to get it done out of young players, inexperienced players. We saw what he did with Nick Foles in the playoffs, folks. Won the ring with a young quarterback. Trevor Lawrence, year 2, young. He'll get it done. Love this draft, round 1 by the Jags. Focus on the defense. Shout out to Doug Peterson. And then in round 2, the Jags go one center, shore up their line a little bit, and then right back at defense, going linebacker Chad Muma. So love the Jags draft here. Real solid. Doug Peterson, we trust, and Doug Peterson believes in himself because he's like, yeah, I can work with this offense. Are you kidding me? Got everything I need right here. Travis Etienne coming back this season. Yeah, I got everything I need. I got everything I need. Don't need to really spend draft picks on the offense. So shout out to the Jaguars. Really good, solid draft. All right, let's do maybe one or two more. We can probably go over this one quickly. It's the Chiefs. Do they need anything? They lose Tyreek Hill. Are you going to be able to replace that in the draft? Maybe you try to replace that rounds 4 through 7 because, hey, let's try a speedy receiver here. Maybe he doesn't pan out, but that's fine. That's fine. We took a shot. Didn't pan out. Not too bad. But the Chiefs, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, they'll be able to overcome no Tyreek Hill. Maybe they won't truly replace him or they're still getting the same level of production out of one single receiver. But, we know Andy Reid is smart. He's won across other teams. It's not like he's only won with Tyreek Hill. Patrick Mahomes, he's only really won with Tyreek Hill, so that's a little bit of the question mark. But it's Andy Reid, it's Patrick Mahomes. They'll be fine, folks. So, Chiefs on the first round, they go defense. They go cornerback and edge rusher. And then in the second round, the Chiefs go wide receiver Sky Moore. Let's see what we get here. Tall, speedy wide receiver. What do we get? Sky Moore, 5'11", but is he fast? Is he fast? Here we go, the player bio. Moore was a 2-time first-team All-MAC selection for the Broncos during his 3 years in Kalamazoo. As a true freshman, he has earned the first honor by starting the final 12 games of the year, playing in all 13 contests, tying the team lead with 51 receptions, and leading his squad with 802 receiving yards. He was second-team All-Conference before ascending to the top of the league in 2021, tying for the 9th in FBS with 95 receptions. Okay, I want to know the speed. I don't care about the accolades. I don't care. I want the speed. Strengths. Right here. Let me see this. Strengths. Consistently productive in all 3 seasons. Plays with good overall pace. Ability to tilt coverage with his press release. Efficient footwork and snapping off stop routes. Creates space with route leverage. Quick to snap eyes to quarterback after his break, squares to throw, and secure catch through contact. Well, that's not really speed. Moderate burst to separate coming off of breaks. That's his weakness. So, okay, he's not fast, and he's only 5'10". All right, I don't really know what the Chiefs were trying to do there, but okay, that's the receiver they went with. And then their other second and third round picks, we're going right back to defense. Safety, Brian Cook, and linebacker, Leo Chanel. So we'll see what the Chiefs, how the Chiefs play this year, but I'm sure they're still going to be great. It's Andy Reid, it's Patrick Mahomes. All right. All right, let's close it out here with the Raiders, with the home team, right? Home team of the draft, the Las Vegas Raiders. First round pick, they had none before Davante Adams, which is a very good first round pick, absolutely. And then in the second round, they went offensive guard with Dylan Parham, offensive guard here. I think it's actually third round pick, but day 2. Whenever I say round 2, I'm meaning day 2, folks. Relax, folks. So, that was actually third. Okay, folks, I'm talking day 2, okay? Second, third round, who cares? They're trash picks mostly anyway, who cares? But here we go. Raiders just going offensive guard, Dylan Parham, shoring up the line for Derek Carr so he can give the ball to Davante Adams, yes. Shore up the line a little bit for Josh Jacobs, which is interesting. Did y'all see this? Over the last few days here, the Raiders did not pick up Josh Jacobs' 5th-year option. So are they going to get a deal done, or are they moving off of him, which makes no sense? Why move off of Josh Jacobs? He's great. So maybe they're just eyeing a longer-term deal, but they just paid Davante Adams. Derek Carr's got money. So we'll see what's happening with this Raiders team. They have Josh Jacobs for this season, but did not sign his 5th-year option. The Cardinals signed Kyler Murray's 5th-year option. Trying to prolong the contract extension, possibly. Interesting there. But Raiders didn't really have a draft here, but they got a nice offensive lineman to shore up the line a little bit. Alrighty, folks, that's going to do it for us today, but we're going to be back tomorrow live noon Eastern. We will be here tomorrow live noon Eastern to go over the rest of the rounds 1, 2, and 3. We'll maybe touch upon round 4, 5, 6, 7 as well a little bit. But once again, we're not going to put too much stake into those picks because those players probably won't pan out well at a high success rate. So not that important that we truly, oh my goodness, wow, they really lost the draft because they didn't draft this in the 5th round. Like, we're not really going to play into that. So rounds 1 through 3, a great gauge. And most of these teams really hit it out of the park. I mean, there was really no big name in this year's draft, but all these teams really, did what they needed to do kind of position-wise. And once again, like every year, it's all going to come down to, are they going to be able to transition from the college system to the NFL? That part is still always a crapshoot. So most of these teams got the position right, but we'll see. Did they get the right guy? That 6'5 receiver, Drake London, is he going to pan out? I hope so. Y'all know I love the size. I got to have those tall receivers, folks. So some teams got him, some teams didn't. We'll see. Was the height the way to go? We'll see. Alrighty, folks, so we're back live tomorrow, noon Eastern, doing it all over again here. No playoff basketball on today, so take it easy today. Maybe recoup after this crazy last few days with the draft Thursday, Friday, today, during the day. So sit back, relax, watch the rest of the draft here, and then gear up for that Celtics-Bucks game tomorrow, folks, because it's going to be crazy. Cannot wait. Alrighty, folks, we are out of here. Have an absolutely great one, and we'll see you back here live tomorrow, noon Eastern, folks. Take